computing first. So, hey everyone, good evening to everyone. I hope you all are doing good and staying safe and healthy. Today we have Tarun Mawa sir with us on our uh, uh, expert session on develop deployment over Azure DevOps. So he'll be taking care of everything about DevOps Azure, and he'll be taking through a hands-on learning session to you all. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Lakshit, and good evening, all. Today's session would be focusing on I could share my screen. So, just to give a brief, today's session is more on the continuous deployment again, the release part. As I said in the last session, this is a broader topic, can't be completed in one session in that to 1 hour. So now today I will like to go for the release strategies. The release strategies we have. Where we the different deployment patterns you can say when you have a application which is accessed by like e-commerce website or anything which has been accessed all over the world. So what would could be the deployment strategy which you could use. We'll go through a couple of hands-on I will try to cover what I can promise. I can try to cover blue green at least, but yes, we will talk about not only blue green. We will talk about the feature toggle switches which we have in the release while doing a release. We'll talk about canary release. Release. There is already a lot of guys has already spoken about it, and the best demo I think would be fit with the Kubernetes actually. Kubernetes sessions specific to Kubernetes. So here I'm focusing on related to Azure DevOps and web app deployments. With Canary, I won't be able to show the entire this thing, but I think conceptually, I think I can try to cover that. And the other is like the ring-based deployment, which is also Canary is similar to Canary deployment, where we release the core to some percentage of customers, 10%, 30%, or more than that. So that will go through the concept of the ring-based deployment strategy. So out of these, all these three things which I mentioned, and conceptual thing of the toggle switches, like feature toggles, like I would like to start with the release strategy, which is blue green deployment. So let me share my screen quickly. I don't have enough slides to cover, but I will make sure that you try to understand these concepts through demo. Which For the demo, I'm using Azure DevOps tool generator to showcase for the guys like me who don't code. So it's a good tool, good hands-on tool to learn about DevOps. So you can, I am because I'm the target audience for this is the professionals and the students and the early learners who wants to jump into DevOps world. So I want to make it interactive, and I want to make it more inclined towards how to get started from scratch rather than so that you can follow me post this session also, and you can always post questions to me via my LinkedIn profile. Let me get started, like sharing my screen. Let me know, Lakshay, once you are able to see my screen, right? Um, I
Yes, sir.
hope it's visible.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I think till last time we covered about pretty much about the CI part of it, the pre-deployment approvals, and the linking of setting up the stages according to the environments, the continuous release and deployment, which you see in the double tick mark, and the artifacts. You can link multiple artifacts and a combination of artifacts and source code to your DevOps pipeline. I think that we left till this, I think, and then from there, this you could see that pre-deployment and post-deployment conditions we had, and approvers gates we have. There's one thing like I would like to cover. I think I missed last time, but this is a very important question which you might have crossed multiple times. Like, what is the difference between we have pre-deployment conditions, approvers, manual approvers, and gates also quality gates. So what is the difference between these two? So this is a very important question, which could be conceptually you can go through the Microsoft Docs site. I will go. I will share the links as well. Probably I can share the links whatever I'm doing in this chat. I think in the comments is a chat enabled for me,
Sir, you can
Lakshay?
just share the link. Sir, you can just share the private chat. I will drop in the comments.
Sure, I think that sounds good because there are a lot of things which I have to cover, and that cannot go without the links actually. So this is let me close these things. So yeah, so conceptually, I have only the architecture. Then I will go to the straight away deployment because it will take could take some time, and then I will come back to the slides because then we will proceed the toggle feature toggles and those things concepts, and then we will come to Canary. So this is how the flow will happen today. So the blue green deployment strategy, if you see, like it involves basically swapping the auto swapping of. So see, you have some set of customers who are accessing your application, right? Which is geographical distributed across different locations, right? So so this is one of the pattern which we use where we do the deployment. So the actual production we call it as blue, whereas the staging where we call it as green, and we deploy the code to green, and we just release that code to subset of customers that we decide, and while the main traffic it will be distributed to the blue region, right? And green could be some other region. So we will be showing I will be showing showcase this through a web app, but definitely this is not that easy. Swapping, I'm showing a very simple demo where I'm going to cover only the web app, but there could be some database as well as other dependencies as well. So my focus today would be on web app part. So, but you have to go through technical depths of this deployment slots. Every time it's not. Uh, with a mere blue green deployment, it's not technical debt could arise. It will come through while I go through the other scenarios. So but yes, it has its own advantages as well. So I have to cover both the things right in front of you. So that's what. So see, this green we will deploy as a staging, and we will blue we will treat it as production. So we will do a swapping. We'll see how the swapping works. I will be referring some articles as well because even I'm not versed with the commands and within the scripts and the release pipeline which I need to give. There are Azure CLI commands. So I will be taking some references as well, and same references and links I will share with you so that you can test yourself, start your journey towards the DevOps, and try to do this yourself instead of depending on anyone. So yeah, so that's the motive. That's the motive which it actually drives me as well to do a lot of things. So I think to get this started, let me close this and let me start basically a duplicate of this one. Let me start from scratch actually. So session expired, so that's fine. But I have to just create a new the project, right? So I will name it as deployment. Will name as deployment strategy. Because this is the only demo which I will be covering. I don't think so I will be able to cover ring-based deployment, but I think I can show how is it like, and I can share the steps. The prerequisite, guys, is like you need to have a pay-as-you-go subscription. So as you can see, I have a subscription and which is linked to my Outlook account. So you need to have at least a pay-as-you-go or a free subscription like I am having here, and then you should be this is like let me go to this site. I will just close this browser, and then it's a browser based deployments which we are seeing. I'm not going for a self-hosted one. I'm going for as I said in the previous session, there are two types of hosted environment: self-hosted and the Microsoft hosted. So I'm going for the max of hosted deployment strategy, the agent pool, right? So, and it's basically I'm not connected to any other server, nor procuring any other VM, like in case of self-hosted. So this is the site you need to go to, and you can just sign in with your live ID, and then yeah, I think it's already signed in, and so like I can create a what to say the project name, and I can treat it as a Azure DevOps is the organization, and let me see, select templates. Template is a ASP.NET. You can get the code from here. So this is like it is a sample code because this is the source code, right, which I'm taking. And I think it's readily available when you go to this site. It's readily available, so you can just pick. So for this demo, this is the virtual and the cloning of the projects which we can do to get you started. And like Parts Unlimited is one of them, where it covers the ASP.NET code. It will build the application internally and then deploy to a Azure App Service, right? And then you, when you click on this, you select a template, right? And you create a project out of it. And I think it will take some time. I think let it be, let it create, and then we should be good to go. So I think it says some. Okay, I think it's showing some create project. Please project a project name. So yeah, till that time this is created. I think let me see if it's already been created. So mm, go to the navigate to the project link. No, this is not the one. Let me go to lead strategy is the one, right, which we created. And yeah, so when you go to the pipelines, right, so I think release strategy is the one which we just created. So we can create a different name also, I think. Yeah, let me choose a different one. I think it was the name was already taken, and you could see that it's already executed. So I like to start it from scratch so that you can follow with what I'm trying to represent here. And it's I'm just following up all the things which are part of this model. In the meantime, this get progress. So this is the like source for me, everything which I'm doing right now. This is the source of everything. And if you go inside this, so today I'm going through I'm going through according to the module or the online instructor details, right? So that's what I'm following. I'm not nothing fancy, and no extra things from my end. So whatever Microsoft is suggesting as a learning module, I'm following that. And for as part of this, I will try to cover the deployment patterns, blue, green, and the feature toggles, as I said, and canary dark launching. This is requires a separate demo. Again, progressive exposure. But I think I can conceptually explain you what is this. So till that time this completes. So I know it's starting of the session, but do we have any question, Lakshit, so far? Uh,
No, sir, we don't have any questions so far.
okay,
We are doing great. Okay, yes, sir.
sure. Yeah, so I think it will take some time.
Okay,
I
sir,
think it
there is
should be
one
completed
query.
soon.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Like people are saying if they don't have the subscription, so what they can do in this right now?
It's a very good question. So if they don't have subscription, so like Azure, like portal, right? So if you go to Azure portal, so uh, I think it will for So I think Azure.microsoft.com, there is a free. See, if you don't have subscription, so what you can do, you don't have subscription right now, right? It's a very good question. So what you can do, so Microsoft provide a free tier, like 1 month or some dollar amount. So I'm not sure what that amount now. I think $200. I started almost a couple of years back. I don't know now, but if you
Yeah,
see the
it's
option in
fine.
Azure portal, free account, if you go, it's, I think 1 month is I know it's fixed. Either 1 month or some dollar amount. I think $200 something. If either of them expires before a month or whichever comes first. If your free thing get expires before, then your free subscription is over. Or if it's 1 month is like if you're done, then you can do with that 1 month subscription free. So you can go to this free account and then it will go to the start free. And if you see here, I think yes, I was correct. It's saying $200. You will have 30 days to use it. Popular service. You need to have a live ID, Outlook ID or live ID, right? And then you can go and just check through it. What is this? And then you can go to pay as you go, or you can, once you are done with it, you can go to pay as you go model, and you can start exploring your subscription. But yes, this is the one which you can get started. I think you need to give your credit card also. It will not charge actually. Credit card is just for the authentication purpose. So once your 30 days expires, right, and if you authorize it to use pay as you go, then only it will use your credit card to convert it as pay as you go. It will automatically reflect as pay as you go after 30 days. So now it's up to you, because you will receive a couple of emails also. Now it's up to you if you want to continue or if you don't want to continue. You can discontinue as well. So but within you have you have this 30 days and $200 and popular service fee for 12 months. And this is like the things which have added newly, I think. Previously, when I started with Azure, only this thing was available. So I think now you have the advantage of Microsoft is offering a lot of advantage in terms of onboarding you to cloud, right? So this could be a starting journey. uh, add your credit card. Don't worry, you will get reminders after 20 days that if you wish to auto start subscription with pay as you go, you can do. Otherwise you can stop the auto debit after 30 days. So you can do that, you can opt that. But it's, yeah, credit card is compulsory, as I could see. You need to add your credit card details once you sign in. Just create your Outlook or a live ID account, and then enter your billing information there. So you can do start free. When you go to start free, uh, you can just go through and sorry, I'm having some trouble with little trouble with throat, so that's fine. So when you go to yeah, so it's asking because it's already associated with my live ID. So it's just, I'm just doing a sign up. I can just you're not eligible for an Azure free account. Of course, I'm not eligible. So yeah, this is just to show you. So I am already done with my this free account couple of years back. So yes, but here you will see your this thing. If you have any doubt, you can just reach out to me, and I can guide you as well on LinkedIn if you face any issues. But I think, yeah, credit card you need to have at your credit card for the billing information. I hope that answers the question. So I will just go to the project now. Release cycle, right? So like this is like the already deployed code. You can I can go we can walk you through I can walk you through the code. This is the parts unlimited ASP.NET based project, right? And this is what we have. Like we have these things, and we have couple of modules. This is the website which we the code. Obviously I can't be writing code in the same thing, and from a DevOps also perspective, you won't be asked to write the actual code, but only the tweakings, troubleshootings, deploying, and taking care of the testing, CI and CD, and the release strategy. This is what the job of DevOps guy is. So now we come to pipelines, right? So we will there's no run rate, right? So we need to trigger, because for release to happen, I think we need to create a release. We need to like have a like a build what you say, the artifact which is not reflecting version, which is what we need. So it comes from the CI. When CI will run, right, it will trigger some artifact that will be automatically reflected here. Once we done that, we'll do that. So but here it's like this definition is already defined, guys. This is already it will happen. So like we need to at least build once. We need to run the build once at least. So that's all the principle which I told you, right? So the even for the release strategy, our strategy should be build build you can build multiple times but release once. So or you could say, I think I'm saying opposite. So build once and release multiple times. I think, yeah, that's the correct word. Build once and deploy multiple times. So build at least we need to do once, right? I think that's a fair understanding. So let's do a what you say, let's done a run pipeline to just run this. You can run with the default agent specification. We don't have to change anything here. And Azure pipelines, agent pools. I think I've shown in the earlier session how to configure the agent pools, how to go about and register the agent pools using PowerShell commands. I've shown this. I'm not using any default agent pool right now. I'm going with the Azure pipelines, and this is the agent specification 2019 which I'm using. And variables is like I'm just using the config build platform and debug the default one for this particular repository, right? I will just run this one, and I will go to the phases and see the deployment logs. Any further questions till the time this runs, Lakshit?
No, sir,
We are
not
good.
yet. No, sir. This time, no questions so far.
Okay. So this is like this is already defined definition, guys. I'm not editing anything here in the CI, but I think we did do some tweakings in the release pipeline. So let's go, and I think it will take some time build solution. I think let's wait till that time. Yeah. So I think it's taking its own time. I think 1 or 2 minutes will take. But yes. So if you see the NuGet package store is the same. NuGet package is the package management tool, right? NuGet is the package manager. So then this is the building solution and copying the files and publishing the artifacts. So now we have the artifacts dropped in the dropped location. So uploaded 90 file upload succeeded, and this is the drop location of the artifact. As said, artifact it's just it's a end product build once and deploy multiple times. End product out of a release cycle, out of a release cycle. So because this is my Outlook account, right? So if I may go to, I'm getting these notifications. Actually, I want to show you because my organization is deal with my this thing, right? Organization is I can show you. This is the project name release cycle. Organization I think is the AZ DevOps 400, right? And this is my live ID. When you go to this, I think I'm getting all the mails actually. So if you see my here, I'm getting all the mails for any release. So like what the latest commit by done by any other person, that name is also visible. So here we can go to results and see that. So these kind of mails you should get while you should delivering a release. So to check the status of your deployments, right? So now this is now done successfully. Now if you see here, because we this is like I want to show this could be failed, but yeah, this is fine. If you see here, what will the meaning of I explained last time, but I can again walk through. So see, this has already been. If you see here, release a version, and what it means. This means that the artifact that triggered this release, this has failed because this continuous integration was enabled. Like once the CI is passed, then it will go to CD phase, right? This was already enabled. So this is the lightning size sign is for that. So this artifact triggered this release. So this is deployed. Now we have the version number as well. Previously you see that we were not getting our version number, right? So now with every artifact we will get some version control. We can do version control at two levels, at the repository level as well as at the artifactory level. So this is the version controlling at the artifactory level. So which is the NuGet package which we have just delivered. So now we will do a edit on the, I think the pipeline, we will do some edits and we'll just configure our jobs to do this thing. So we are trying to set up a blue green kind of strategy here, and that's what we will do. And like Azure Web App, we will deploy in a resource group and we'll see. So let me just go to my resource groups first and delete any of the resource group. I think it's not there now. So yeah, so let me. So here is your subscription. I think I have to just authorize this to use my so I think it's taking some time, but I think all well that ends well. Let's take its own time and do authorization, because this time one time activity you need to do. Either you need to create a service principal that could be used for your entire pipeline, or you need to authorize here your build. So SPI, either you need to create and give the permission to the pipeline, or you come and authorize here. And this is the location. You can give any location. For the purpose of this, I'm just doing a East US. Template location is link artifact is fine, which is going by default. It will taking the template as full environment. You can go to this repository and you can just refer to these JSON files when you do your actual deployments right now. When you do this and the speech repository is done, there is no deployment group agent which we are deploying right now. And yes, this is it. And now we'll go to Azure app deployment, right? So now we'll go to this Azure through subscription, and we need to again authorize this step as well. Shit, sorry. Okay, I think. Deploy to slot. I think we will do a deploy to slot, and we will call it as staging. So this is the slot, and we'll call this as staging. So this will be treated as green environment, staging green environment, and we will configure one more production like scenario, which will be called as a blue environment. But their difference is, like, you will see a difference here. This is not the final solution. This you will go to some part of the customer to be accessing this green part of it. So that's why I'm saying deploy to slot. So I will also explain the concept of because this deployment slots rights are available for the web app, and so this is like one more thing. I think the deployment slots I will go through one. Once it's deployed, I will show you the deployment, the web app and the deployment slot. What is deployment slot? So deployment to slot, I'm just clicking on this right now. You can hover over it and also select the option to deploy to an existing slot other than the production slot. So it says like you have to uncheck this option when we will configure the production deployment slot. So other than the production slot, right? It's mentioning that if this option is not selected, then the Azure Web App will be deployed to a production slot. So this is not a production slot, right? So we have to check this option. So I just want to make sure all parameters are covered. Now, I think yeah, this is we can just refer to it, and this is we can so this is, I think we can pretty much def QA. Right here, we have this one, and we'll name it as I think. Let me name it something. So, as you can see, but the deployment agent also we have to change. So let me change. I'm this uh, before we even release this thing. So we have to change this to green site something so that it's so let us change it to green site. And I think this has some hardcore dependency with the agent also, version also, this code. So I think this is recommended to use this version to Visual Studio 2017, Windows 2016. So it's some hardcore dependency with the code we have, and let's do that, and then green site. So I think this should be fine. Apart from that, other things should be fine, I think. So now I'm not covering other parameters, but I think parallel builds, I think we have covered in the last session. So I think yeah, so should be fine. But now we need to delete all these things, right? You'll just go and delete this thing QA. And whereas production will delete it right now. Right, just I'm just clone. Abhi just I will create a copy here of just cloned it and named as production. So now we have to configure production now. Actually, we'll go to production. Now here we'll call it as production. Right, we'll call it a production, and Azure deployment page, as you go linked artifacts, and no, deploy to slot. It's a production, right? Now, this is the difference I want to show you. We don't have to go deploy to slot. And like you don't have to click on this one. So this is production, right? You This is the difference which I wanted to show. And deployment production. So this should be fine. Go to this thing. So I just want to make sure that this is we are doing right options. Okay. So I think the name was the green side and the production, which is fine. I think we need to create a new release, but before that, there is one thing which let's create it. I think we'll do a swapping afterwards, right? Let it create and deploy the site, and then we'll show the other things later. So let me save this. So first time I need to create a it will create one repository. Let me go to variables also. Let me go to the variables also, pipeline variables. So it will create a resource group name, ADO.name. You can bring it on your own this thing, right? Like a website, it was a green site scope, and this is production website name. The scope is green site. This is production. This also will be changed afterwards. You can give your custom what you say the this thing, right? The custom values you can give. So you can give Scope, let it be. Green side production, let it be. So this is like the variables which I wanted to show. This is also you can change the values. But as part of this demo, let it run. It should run at least, because I want to show there will be the end result is there would be, I think, what you say, I think two web app would be deployed as part of it, and application insights as well. And let's see what else would be deployed in this resource group name release strategy. And as your deployment, it will go and deploy this whatever there is in JSON, right? You can go and just have a deploy as your web app website name. It's taken from the variable, and resource group name again is taken from the variables. The stage slot, right? So slot staging. So and for this one, you can just go to. Let me copy this. Just to show you where is the code setup merged template. No, yeah, let me actually show you the actual code. This is one thing, and this is so that we'll see what I just want to show, like what resources could be deployed. So let's go to this code actually. Part submitted. This is the whole path. But before we come again here, let's go to the code and ASP.NET ENV, right? ENV is the one. ENV part submitted environment and templates. It's a YARM template deployment which we are doing. And if you expand this, it will be a full environment setup merged. Full environment setup merged. This is the one, right? And contents is, if you see here, website name is deployed, server name, DB also is deploying DB password, DB. So SQL Server also is deploying. Website is also deploying, and DB is SQL Server, and DB also is deploying. And what you say, apart from that, you could have a DB edition. I think hosting plan SKU. So every web app will have its hosting plan, right? SKU. That will come to the parameter file. We'll explain you what is that. So hosting plan worker size. So enable rules. So you see SQL, Azure SQL, one website would be deployed, and apart from that, resources would be the server name SQL Server, and SQL username and password, firewall rules for the SQL Server. It will be updated, and then we have. I'm just walking you through the code. You got to get to know. You just don't blindly do this from this site. You need to know the things as well. So name, and then we have the stage. SQL Server parts unlimited is the display name. That's resources API version, and you have DB name, and parts DB name, parts unlimited DB, insight scopes, and then I think application insights. This is part of application insights. Website name. So I think this is it. Like CPU percentage. This is all the application insights part. So, but yes, you got to know on the high level what are the parameters which it's going to deploy. The web servers, web app, the SQL, and the other parts of it. I think web app that will be created, then by default, this application will also be created. So at least I'm expecting 6 to 7 resources. Three at least SQL Server, DB Server, two, one web app, three, and one application site, four. So I think, yeah, I think 4 to 8 parameters I'm expecting. And if you go to parameter file, so this is the, I should not show you this file, but see, I just want to show this thing. So remember, guys, the deployment slot, which is the next concept out of blue green, that's available only for the standard tier. It's not available for free tier. You can't do a deployment slot with a free tier. It always has to be a standard tier. So that's the main thing which you need to know. You can't do play with a free tier and do the deployment, right? So you just go to release, and I think go to release, select all and create it. So let's wait for this to be. I've been queued. It says. Right, it's coming like this. I think it's deploying. So we should see our deployments as well. Do we have any questions, Lakshit, in the meanwhile?
Sir, no, we don't have any questions like right now.
Okay.
Usual time it takes to get deployed, like in this.
Uh, Deployment takes time, 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. The release build it doesn't took didn't took, I think 1 minute it took, but I think this should take some time.
Okay, so sir,
Maximum
if
2 minutes. Yeah.
if all this deployment also depends on the tab
I didn't get you. Deployment
loading
also
only.
depend on. I
Sir,
it got cut. Can you please repeat your question, Lakshit?
yes, sir. Sir, I was asking like if this deployment also depends on the like the data amount of data we are connecting with this or the traffic we are having. If this deployment also depend on this.
The deployment depends on the how many code dependencies you are merging as part of your releases. What the amount of changes in the code and the new features which you are delivering as part of your release. So it depends on that, and how many artifacts as part of JSON file, how many infrastructure components you are provisioning. So web app is a heavy thing actually. Application, it's a heavy thing. So that's why it's taking time. It will take some time. So let's see how much time. I think it's a release strategy, right? The name. I was referring the wrong one. So dev state SQL Server. You can see it's given created SQL Server. Now it's still in progress. I think yeah. So it will deploy the apps also. I believe so. I think. Yeah, it is deploying the SQL Server. It has deployed SQL Server dev stage, and like while it deploys, so I can show you quickly. This is like it's still taking time to have a Azure web app deployed. I think it should be done then almost. Yeah, it's done. 3 minutes it took. So it has deployed the application, web application. Let me go to and show you these web applications. So I think it has. Let us see if it is completed. I should get some mail. I think it is deploying now for the production, if I'm not wrong. Okay, app now they have created the as of now only the app. Now it is deploying the code, actual the code using this step. Actual code is being deployed using Azure App Service Deploy. And now, yes, I think now it has been completed. So I think it's a complete first stage. I think not for the other component. Production, I think not started yet, right? So I think if you go to staging, I think this should be available now. But production one, I have not released it right now. So production, there should be not be anything. I have not deployed the code, actual code to the production side. So no, it's not. It's not there. No, let me deploy that. Let me show. I think here I'm expecting one website to launch. Yeah, this is coming, right? This is the website which is coming, right? And like this is the website which is coming, but for for stage it has came, I think, but for the production it has not came still. I'll go to I think this is the production slot. Sorry about that. So this has came. Let us no. This has not came, right? Because we have not deployed any production thing. So we need to deploy the production thing also. So production, when I go to, we need to do a deploy. I don't know why it is coming like this. It should be automatic. It should be should have released, but that's okay. We'll do. We have to configure the swap in auto swap in, right? So we'll just to show how it functions. Now it's deploying the code, actual code to the production. I think yeah, it will deploy the code. I think mostly. So any so now if you go to you can you so staging one you can this site can act as a production when while some of the customers will be directed to the production slot. So this will act as a the green will act as a production like instance. We can point some customers to this, and they can continue to use the what do you call the stage slot as a kind of production. So let's wait for till this deployment completes. Yeah, I think it will take 1 or 2 minutes. I think some more time it should complete, and then we should be able to till that time we can validate the steps which we are doing. Is the green and production side. So they're testing the staging. Staging is working, and without this thing is not working right because this is still in progress. So it should be done very soon. Uh, then we will see after this. Once this is done, we will see configuring the blue green swap and approval, auto swap and approval. I don't think so. I can cover all the topics, but I think conceptual things I can cover after that. So till that time, I think that in the meanwhile, this auto swap we will configure. I can share you the quick links which you can refer. Like so, what happens during this swap, right? So there are a couple of steps which happens during the swap. So swap operations like apply the following settings from the target slot, like slot specific app settings, continuous deployment, app service settings, wait for every instance in the source to slot to complete if it restart. If any instance fail to start, so operation reverts all changes to the source slot and stop the operation. So till the time this completes, I think this is also completed. So let me go to this site. This also should be loading fine now. So if you go to the, if you, this is the production slot, right? If you go to the deployment slot, either you can configure manually by coming here, auto swap, right? So if you go to the, this is the production slot, right? And you have a staging slot as well. So in traffic, it's now taking 100% of the traffic. So in the ring-based deployment strategy, right, you can distribute this traffic like 20%, 30%. So ring-based, even the Microsoft Windows team follows the ring-based pattern that like when they are releasing any new patch in the Windows, right? So they follow this strategy. So this is the deployment sort. You can add a slot and you can configure this thing, right? You can clone it from the existing one. You have so many available and do a swap, right? You can do a swap source and target. You can choose. This is for the manual. And to check the logs, you can refer to the logs here, activity logs of the swaps. So this is the manual method or doing a swapping. Like for ring based deployment, you can distribute the traffic. For canary based, like some part you can own, some part you can say uh, you can release one part of the product to a specific set of customers rather than to the entire world. So that's what you can do in canary. So if you see here, this is for the what do you say the production one, right? This is for the production one, and this is like without anything, it's for the production. This is for staging. So now we will quickly come here and will actually prepare for the configuration stop, and we will delete the production and swap a blue green for the stage name. We'll clone it and we'll delete the production, and that's what it says. Sorry about that, guys. If you go to this, go to this is deleted now. So because anyhow we have created our this thing, right? Empty job we will create, and this we will name it as the swap blue green. This green is will act as a stage, and swap blue green will act as a production, right? Okay. So now we have to configure the swapping thing, right? Here we'll go to CLI based command. We have to we have to configure the swap details, right? How to automatically auto swapping, like this should happen automatically. It should not be like we should be coming here and doing the swaps, right? We were doing it. This is called manual swapping. Now what we are learning is through a CD pipeline, the swapping. So that's what it is. So this is the manual way of the deployment slot. So you do this kind of deployment through a deployment. This is also a concept in itself, deployment slot, deployment release strategy. So when you go to CLI, you need to first authorize your, I think this thing, right? Script type is like PowerShell. Script path is, I think, the to specify the. Let us see what is configured there. It should be inline script, I think, because we will be copying the. There is a command actually that will take care of the auto swap. Swap blue green variables website name to release. So website is should be changed to release now. It's no more a green site, so it should be release actually. You can go and you can check about these scopes, right? This should not, this should be reverted to release now. This was green side previously. Now we are altogether deploying a new cloud which is a blue green, right? So we should change it actually. So now we have come here and we have to configure this one, right? uh, Release scope we have changed, and CLI is what we need to enter, and see this is the command actually which we need to enter. Like this is so this is the like if you go to the Azure command, that's right. This is through how to you will configure this thing inside the DevOps pipeline. So this is the easy way of doing that. Easy Azure CLI way of doing that. Azure web app deployment slot. So you can do a auto swap. It's configured using this. So you're doing a slot swap, right? Auto swap, slot swap is also like you can do here. We are utilizing swap deployment slot for web app. So we are configuring this one. So to be used as slot for staging, target slot production. So this is like it will take slot staging so that it can automatically slot source is staging and target slot is production. So and this will take from the variables. So this is you can just this you can take from this one, this website. So the command actually to, and this is the what I will be using mostly, command which I've been using. So this is like to configure that in our pipeline. Um just hold on. So Yeah, so I think we will save it and pre-deployment, I have to click myself as approver. So slot is production slot, source slot is staging. Okay, target slot is production, but this should be name should be changed, I think, right? What we have called. So mm, this is a standard tier. Click OK, and we have to give a pre-deployment approvals thing which we have to change. Just hold on. So we go to pipeline. Before it deploy to this thing, I should get a update. Like I should get a update. Then I should be able to review the change, and then only it should trigger further. So this like pre-deployment before it to go to blue green, it should ask me if whether any changes are any stage service changes are good. Then only it should go to the production slot. So this is the intention of this. So I think now we can go ahead and create a release. Before that, let me validate the changes which I have done. Sorry about that. So sorry about that. So now pre-deployment. Now we have to test this, right? So testing this, we have to go whether this is working fine or not. One, so I'm doing one correction in the green side, which is the stage side. So how I will do it? I will go to the repos. I will go to do some changes here because it's a CI/CD, right? It's an automatically trigger the things for me. So if you go to the view homes, right? Views home, and then after that home, and indexed CSS HTML, then I will change a couple of things here. So instead of like new tiers are there, right? We'll try to configure. So if you see here the website, this website, which is uh, this one, right? Which we have deployed. So this tiers, right? This is for staging. It's coming as tiers. Now we will redeploy to correct this into the greens part of the deployment and correct before it could produce a production. I should get some approval to correct this name. To correct this name in production, I should first point my customers to the this particular environment. So this will happen through like I will go and change it. It should trigger the release actually. If I go to pull request, it has been already been created. So it says, let us go to the Any further questions, counter questions we have, or I think we should be good. I think. Right.
No, sir. Right now we don't have any questions so far.
This is our MS build we are using. We are not using any self-hosted agent. Just to update. So it has its own advantages and disadvantages, as I said earlier. So let's see. Let's do a refresh. It's taking some time. So till the time this completes and I show you the difference, I think I should cover the other things. So you can just go through what happens during the swap using I think this is like consideration and using mm, consideration on using deployment slots in your pipeline. So this is also one of the good thing which you can go through. So this is a very good blog by written by Donovan on this the development slot concept, how it should go, like and like this is what I was explaining, referring to this article that we should also our database should be so resilient enough that it should handle able to tolerate the changes, because this is only the web app part of it. We are not focused if because there are scenarios when schema also changes on the database. From that it gets difficult from that point to manage only through blue green. Then and when it comes the concept of canary on top of it. So canary, difference between canary and blue green is canary comes with on top of okay, blue green. It comes with the blue green as well as the toggle feature toggling, as well as the traffic manager. So feature toggling is a very important concept which you should know about it. Feature toggles. So what is feature toggle? So feature toggles is like you can use the what is Azure feature flag or feature toggle. So the feature manager in Azure portal for app configurations is a UI for creating and managing the feature flag that you use in a application to add a new feature flag, enter a unique. So this will like it's a flag. So if suppose you don't want to release your code to all the public, right? So you can release the code to the trunk based deployment, and from that. That deployment branch could be tagged as a feature branch. Feature flag could be tagged to that branch, and all the immediate users, immediate developers could when we enable the feature flag, right? Toggle, this is toggle switch. So when we enable the feature flag, right, in a branch, all the developers, internal developers, and internal team will fetch the code from the feature flag, and so that what will happen, the public or the other users inside the organization won't be able to still be able to work with. The immediate user would be could be our internal users team. They could because I have made a feature the flag. It won't be passed to the other branches, so you can just do a feature flag of that. So so that your defects or your new feature which are released could be tested by the your own internal team before even releasing to the public or the other organization, like other part of your own organization. So that's the feature flag. So Canary combines the blue green as well as these feature toggles on top of the traffic manager. Then it comes the Canary deployment. So you deploy to a specific region, and then you sub test with a subset of customers before moving it to the entire world. So traffic manager comes into place when you do a Canary deployment. The best use case is the Kubernetes deployment for the Canary. I hope I could have shown that, but I think time is not allowing me to at this point in time to show that. But could be next time onwards as well. Let me refresh it. But I think the deployment has been completed. So let me go to the deployment first. I think it's been completed to the green side. So if you let us go to the parcel limited and go to the see, this is like it won't pass actually. So it's waiting for my approval. If you see here, I think let me. So it's waiting for my approval. I think if you go to the releases pending approval, right? I need to approve it. So I won't approve it until I see the changes for this. It has been succeeded or not. So so it has been corrected, right? Ties. So now I can approve the changes to be deployed to the production. And I think this is what I have to show today. Canary, I think I can cover. So I wish I could cover the swapping details. So you can check in the Azure portal also. Like like Henry, as I was explaining, so let it come. Then I'm expecting if this release passes, I'm also expecting this wordings to be corrected for the production release as well. So that's what we call this as a successful deployment. But let's see if it's approved. But let's see. We go to the logs. Let's see. At the time this executes, let me go to the concepts of Canary. So Canary is like implement Canary is like describing deployment strategy. Canary is traffic manager and track launching. What is it? So the Canary can be implemented using combination of feature toggles, which I just referred to conceptual traffic routing and deployment slots. That's again on the web app part. So mostly the deployment slot which I've covered are the Windows deployment slots. Linux based, I think the deployment slots are not available for Linux builds. That's what I know. I have seen somewhere. So you can route a percentage of traffic to a deployment slot with a new feature enabled. You can target to a specific user segment. You want to, as I said, some percentage you can you redirect to some internal users and some to the public. So, and this is the reference for the Kubernetes based deployment you can do as an implementation. And I think after this demo, I will cover. I'm planning to deploy this thing using the this use case. I'm planning to use actually. And now this comes, I think the what you say the Canary deployment and the oh no, this is called ring based deployment actually, ring based deployment. So this is the third kind of strategy, blue green canary, and this is the ring based deployment strategy. So canary deployment is for deployment or Kubernetes deployments. This is the article which you should be using for deploying your that Kubernetes cluster using the canary stage, and this is what you should use it. So let me give you just hold on. Let me, where is my screen? So I'm just sorry, it's exceeding the time. I'm so sorry. So, but I think it's worth trying. So let's just go to our. I think it's completed. So I think let me refresh it. Let me see if it's completed or not. I think yeah, it's completed. Good. So let me see. Yeah, I think it's completed. Yeah. So if you see here, I have promoted the bill to tires because I have validated that it is good. Then I have approved this. This is what you will call referred as a blue green deployment. And as I was showing you, this is the third strategy. What you call for this also demo is available. You can just go through it. So like Canary is like the early adapters. Canaries means early adapt in a coal mine. This word was derived from the coal mine. Before even could affect employees, it could just detect something if going wrong. It can issue a subset of customers. Then early adapters are the CD, early adapters, and then the public users. This is called a ring based. Even if you see the Microsoft Windows team, they release in the ring based deployment, ring based. So this is the shape of the ring, right? So they are releasing like for the energy in engineering builds, they are releasing in a time slot manner, and then to the external world like this. So you can this is like ring based deployment. I will just forward the implementation for this also. You just go through it and just do a hands on this one as well. So I think yeah, this is pretty much. I think I've tried to cover all of things with a time limit exceeding only almost 20 minutes. So I think over to you, Lakshat.
Yes, sir. I think thank you so much. I think you can stop the share screen. I think perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for taking care of all the things about the session. And I had a very bad voice, so I didn't hear the intro. And I also had a very big technical issue with my laptop, so I resolved it and I
Oh,
came here.
okay.
So thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in, and also thank you so much, sir, for giving this webinar. Means a lot.